played by Tomei, outwardly expresses disinterest in Nick.
I can't take no for an answer.
About what?
About what?
I turn him down. I do turn him down a lot because he's a gigolo, you know, and I know it. And he's too good looking. It's written all over his face, and I don't want to risk it. I'm not usually like this on a first date. It's just being so amazing all night. And so sensitive and so understanding.
To hear what a woman's thinking when you're fooling around with her, which happens to Mel Gibson's character, torture.
Is Britney Spears on Leno tonight? The way I like to think of it, she's a big part of his evolution in understanding women, and she gets the sex right with him.
I can do this better.
Wanna bet?
Yeah.
He finally gets it. So it's a little gift she gives to him.
Along with the personal benefits that result from Nick's newfound power, he also uses it as a strategic weapon at work.
Oh, great photographs.
No clue they're all Margaret Burke-White.
They're not all Margaret Burke-White, are they?
Yeah, they are.
He finally gets a handle on it and starts to use it, but he uses it the wrong way. He starts to undermine his boss. He begins to dig a hole underneath her, hoping she'll fall through, which she does.
What do you think, Nick? I don't know, it seems kind of, what's the word?
Parochial.
Parochial to me. What do you think, Darcy?
Because he can read her thoughts. He basically steals all her ideas. So he just beats her to the punch all the time, and she doesn't know what the hell is happening to her. And she's feeling unsure of herself, and of course she can't imagine that it's because he can read her mind.
Well, if you need any help,
Oh, I'll be picking your brain.
you got it. You know, it puts this kind of weird monkey wrench into their getting to know each other. In the middle of a scene that isn't about how attractive he is at all, that might be one of 30 thoughts that she has, but he hears it.
What I'd like to propose.
He's proposing so soon?
Oh, sorry.
For director Myers, Hunt's ability to convey the many layers of her character made her ideal for the role.
She's the girl. Helen was the only person I wanted for Darcy because she just has this innate strength and intelligence, and I thought she'd be a great person to get inside of. This is a movie about getting inside women's heads.
I can't believe I have butterflies in my stomach. Feels like the first day of school.
She looks like she can really, kick some corporate butt, but she's also has the acting smarts and the soul and heart of someone that is able to show much more and be very vulnerable, which is also required.
Now, you know this is a tough one for us to get. It would be a tough one for anybody to get, but if we got it, that's all we'd need.
I hear you.
The on-screen chemistry of the cast benefited from Gibson's fun-loving attitude behind the scenes.
He's loose. He's incredibly loose, and everybody likes working on the movie because of him.
No, there's no more witty repartee here. It's all over.
He's a great storyteller. He's got a fantastic laugh. He laughs all the time. And his personality is contagious, and you want to be around him.
We're always making silly jokes or throwing things in that are way too off color. Mel and I constantly.
It's a really fun movie, so we've had a really fun time on it.
I could do this scene forever.
Over the course of the production, the goal of the filmmakers was always to find an element of truth in the comedic situations.
That was funny.
Cut it. Let's go again.
Nancy says crying's easy, laughing's hard, and it's like, she's right. You have to be very precise, and there has to be a lot of truth involved in comedies. You can't just be goofy, you have to be truthful in some aspect.
Men are stupid, or it's true. Will you stop it? Well, they are. What do you mean they? Are you officially a woman now?
Well, if people are laughing, it means it's they're recognizing something in it. I'm free. Just call me anytime. I'm flirting. What's wrong with me?
To me, the best moments in the movie are when Mel and Helen are relating in the most real fashion, and where their eyes connect and they share a laugh over something, and when they come through, and the real affection they have for each other comes through.
You have worn control type pantyhose?
Yeah.
And how did you look at them?
Hot.
That's what they do great. They make it real.
It is the combination of comedy, romance, and believability that ultimately provide the heart of the story.
This movie is funny, it's smart, and it's got Mel Gibson and Helen Hunt. I mean, I think, audiences are going to love it.
What women want is a really fun question.
When I started in this business,
They want the same kind of things men want. They want success and want to have a certain amount of dignity.
But I think that for all of our progress, course, we're still men and women, and we're still trying to figure each other out, and we're different.
Taller grande.
Grande, or at least I like to think so.
Next.
I have no clue how men think. I barely know how women think, but I don't think it's similar. I think it's very different. Nick Marshall, looking right at me. At least he's looking at my eyes and not down my blouse.
I think you can spend a long time trying to figure it out, what women want. It's got something to do with chocolate.
Oh, it's very.
Chocolate and conversation.
Oh, you were listening.
You know, Freud died at age 83, still asking one question. What do women want?
I was trying to, you know, when I came on board, trying to justify why this character is so out of sync with the times, because I know he makes money thinking this way, but somewhere along the line he had to have gotten a clue that he was not tuning into women properly.
You know I love you, Nick. But it's a woman's world out there. And getting into a woman's psyche is not exactly your strong suit. You can get into their pants better than anybody on earth, but their psyche is a whole other ballgame.
So I gave him this background of Las Vegas, growing up in Las Vegas in the 60s, and that's where the music influence came from. And then I looked at some Frank Sinatra movies myself just before I wanted to make the movie, just to kind of get some of that Rat Pack dialogue in my head and that way of saying things.
You can access things through music, you know, listening to Frank, Dean, and Sammy, and that whole kind of Ocean's 11 kind of ring-a-ding stuff, you know.
I don't like finding these things in your sofa. What kind of woman wears underwear like this?
Hey, my mother wore underwear like that, all right? Just put them somewhere with you, babe.
He's a little out of sync, this guy, with the world today. He works in an ad agency and he has done extremely well, but his niche is basically sexist advertising. You want babes in bikinis, he's your guy. But the world is changing and he's not changing with it. And I think that's why he was chosen to receive this gift that he gets in the movie, because, you know, when you make a movie like this and something unreal happens, you have to justify it as the person making the movie. Why him? Why was this guy chosen of all the schmucks in the world? Why'd they pick this one to allow him to evolve? And I think it's because he has a good soul and he could be saved.
Well, Nick's the kind of guy who's, you know, he has a very healthy ego, let's put it that way. He's kind of raised in Vegas and he dresses nice and has a sense of style, but he's a guy's guy. You know, he likes to have a vodka and a cigarette and hang out with broads, you know. But, you know, he's about to get a pretty nasty surprise in his life.
You okay? Do you realize that I have an Ivy League education and that running your stupid errands has put me into therapy? Why don't you take me seriously and give me some real work to do? Oh yeah, I remember why. Because I have a vagina! Is there anything else I can get for you?
And imagine if you could start hearing what people were thinking. You'd think you were losing your mind for a little while, you know. So he goes through those, you know, very varying degrees of change to, he gets to the point where he begins to take advantage of this gift, as he calls it.
Hello, I'm Darcy.
Hi, I'm Nick Marshall.
Oh, I've heard a lot about you, Nick.
Oh, and I've heard a lot about you too, Darcy.
Well, don't worry, can't all be true.
Let's hope not.
My play, a woman hired to be Mel Gibson's boss, and I come in knowing that that his character is sort of the top guy at this agency hates me, even though he's never met me. So I think my task in the movie is to come in with some strength and somehow cut through the enormous amount of preconception that exists in the place where she's working.
If you want to sell an anti-wrinkle cream or a Ford Mustang to a woman, forgive me, but this is the last place you bring your business, and we can't afford to not have a piece of a $40 billion pie.
Working with Helen is a terrific experience. I mean, she's very warm and she had kind of great great presence, and it wasn't like a huge part. One gets the sense that she's in the entire film because of what she brings to it.
Look, I think I'm lucky she said yes. I think that she's the most sought after woman in movies today, and so I was really lucky that she said yes to me. And I wanted her